What up, One Pride? We're back. Sorry about the abrupt end of our very long free agency stream a little bit earlier. I had a power knockout where I'm at, and it just absolutely rendered everything dead. So we thought we'd come back. We're back for a sort of shorter stream. We're going to be here for the next 45 minutes, rounding up the deals that have happened whilst we've been away, and any more deals that happen then, and then we're going to round it up at about the hour. So let's just dive straight back into this. So Ash, just give us a rundown of the deals that have happened whilst we've been off the air.
So the big ones are Diami Brown to the Jags on a 1-year, $10 million deal, up to $12 million with some incentives. Broncos signing Hufanga, the all-firm all-pro safety, 3 years, up to $45 million, $20 million guaranteed at signing. Josh Palmer, the Canadian wide receiver from the Chargers, has gone to the Bills to be another weapon for Josh Allen, 3 years, $36 million, 18 guaranteed up front. But the big one, Josh Sweat to the Arizona Cardinals, 4 years, $76.4 million overall, $41 million guaranteed, before returning to his former DC, Jonathan Gannon, and breaking quite a lot of Lions fans' hearts, I guess, because there's another big name edge that we're just not getting.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, $19 million a year for him there, so
yeah.
It's a good deal. $41 million of that is guaranteed, so Josh Sweat not coming to Detroit. Yeah, sorry to anyone who just... Yeah, we abruptly left. As I say, there was an outage of my power, and then just everything went dead, and it killed the stream weirdly. So I didn't want to leave it like that. I thought we'll come back for another 45 minutes. We'll get this done. We'll wrap this up in a neat little bow, and we'll get there. And so yeah, that's what's happened. And yeah, the wide receiver market has started to fall. Josh Sweat has gone. Luke Farrell has just gone to the 49ers. He's had a 3-year deal worth up to $21 million there as well, $11 million guaranteed. So that's who's on the 49ers now. That's one of the extra players they've got there. But yeah, Josh Sweat going is disappointing. So that takes off the 5th ranked prospect on the board. Travarius Ward is now the highest ranking free agent left, followed by Amari Cooper. And then you're into the Byron Murphy, Drain Greenlaw, Jevon Holland stakes. And if you're looking at the edge market, Malcolm Kuntz is the highest rated edge left now out of the Vegas Raiders. He's ranked 23 on NFL's top 100 big board. So, I mean, just so much going on this first day. Actually, a lot more deals than I expected. And it's just disappointing about Josh Sweat. But hey-ho, it is unfortunately what it is.
Yeah, and Kuntz isn't, if it is him, I'm not saying it will be, but if it is him, he's good. He's a good edge too. He's done it in Las Vegas past couple of years, opposite Max Crosby. So he knows what he's doing in a way, and it's still good. It's just that was just too much for us. I think we weren't going to pay that much, and maybe that 4th year as well, sort of paying him until he's 31 was a bit too much for us. So fair play to the guy. He got what he got the bag. He's going to be returning to someone who knows what he's doing, and that Cardinals team is looking very dangerous in the NFC West next year. And so it's all good. Hopefully, as the DJ Reader's agency has just confirmed the signing that we're doing, so we're all Gucci. Not to panic there.
So DJ Reed officially, unofficially official, because again it can't be official till Wednesday, but unofficially official, Reed is coming to the Lions. In terms of other free agents, I mean, Aziz Ojulari is still on the market as well. I know there are some concerns with him and whatnot, but he would also be a good pickup for us still. So there are maybe some options out there, but there's going to be no big ones. I figure if anything's going to happen now, it's going to come down to the trade market, and that seems unlikely given that Josh Sweat went to the Arizona Cardinals, so they've locked up a good one there. $19 million a year for 4 years. That's good value for him, and he rightly deserves to get paid because he's been underpaid his entire career. So that is a good deal for him. And of course, now that we're back here, the deals are probably just going to dry the hell up again. But there's been enough for the day. So Hunter Long has gone to the Jags. Did we mention that one?
No, because that's only just broken the past couple of minutes.
Is that former Lion Hunter Long?
Former Ram. I know he was definitely a Ram. I don't know if he was ever.
I feel like Hunter Long is a.
No, he was only a Dolphin 21-22, then Rams the past couple of years.
Oh, okay, that might be. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of someone else. Donkey Kong goes. I love that name. Is there anyone that didn't know we were getting cornerback one in free agency? It always seemed on the cards. It was always dependent on what happened with Carlton Davis. If Carlton Davis was coming back, then we didn't need one. If Carlton Davis was going elsewhere, we did. And the second he announced to the Patriots, it would have been obvious to everybody that we were going to go for his replacement. And again, we've done it on a cheap deal. Again, we can't keep saying it often enough. Paulson Adebo went for $18 million a year, and we've got DJ Reed for 16. That is just sensational value for money from Brad. That one is so. I kind of understate how good this is. Now the only domino to fall is Travarius Ward. Now, if Travarius Ward goes for more, then Brad's played a blinder, quite frankly. Because Byron Murphy's probably going to set something huge. Like, Byron Murphy's going to go for numbers probably bigger than this, you would think. Asante Samuel won't. He's going to get... interesting, no one's even taken a look at Asante Samuel, which is a shame given his stock when he came out in the draft, but it's just not worked for one reason or another. Somebody's going to take a flyer on him.
Yeah, and he's a good slot. It's just... Yeah, I guess other teams look at other options. Obviously, Jordan Lewis, who's a slot himself, is signed for big dollar. So there's still options out there. Even if we've got Reed in, we still need to fill out the room. So obviously, Vildor's gone. My favourite guy is also gone for now. I'm hoping we bring him back. But still other guys we can kind of bring in as we sort of lower deals to fill out the depth. So
of course,
Christian Fulton out's there.
Yeah, Christian.
Jags have just signed Patrick McCarry from the Ravens, so there's another interior offensive lineman. He's a swing. He's kind of swing right tackle / interior offensive lineman. McCarry, I believe. So
yeah, he is. He's done a little bit there. So the Jags are actually spending very frugally today for the most part, considering to what they normally do in free agency. They actually seem to be restrained this year. So maybe they're not going to be the worst deal of the day, as I anticipated. What else have we got here? So, yeah, in terms of big deals, so we just had so many big deals. Sam Darnold going to the Seahawks, Milton Williams, his Patriots deal, that is huge. And again, you're paying $2 million per year more than what we pay Aleem McNeil. And Aleem McNeil he's had to be a starter since day one for us. He didn't really get a choice in the matter. Milton Williams has never technically been a starter before. And it's crazy. Obviously, he's got the Super Bowl ring, which counts for a lot, but $63 million guaranteed, that is a lot of money. But obviously, they've had to outbid the Panthers. They've had to outbid, was it the Rams in for them as well?
Yeah,
they were, so.
Supposedly we were sniffing around a bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's done. Donkey Kong goes, Brad is amazing, let him cook. D-Map soon goes, afternoon Lions fans from across the pond. Lions made any decent moves? Yeah. We made some good one. DJ Reed is a good move. And again, only CD is a Lions free agent who's been signed so far. So none of the other Lions free agents are gone yet. So there's still potentially a lot of guys who might come back as well. More specifically, Levi Onwuzurike. Levi is moving right up the board now in terms of, because he was top 30. He was 30th top ranked free agent. There's not many left. He's probably the 6th or 7th highest rated.
He's the number 2 interior defensive lineman on the board right now, because obviously Milton's gone.
So
she got
Levi, you figure, is going to be in at some point soon. So his market's definitely open at this point. So yeah, just slow down a minute there.
That's good.
And then, of course, all the crazy stuff starts when everyone's got to start cutting people before the deadline on Wednesday, when you've got to be underneath the league limit. But I think there's only 3 teams above it now. So
Yeah.
I don't think many more people are going to get cut that we anticipated might.
So there's the Dolphins, the Saints, and the Chiefs, all of which are they're less than 10 million over at this point. How the fuck the Saints have done that, I do not know.
Carr. They restructured Carr and bought his massive... Yeah. Like, he's costing, I think they said 70 million against the cap next year and 60 to cut. That is what bad financial management does for you. He really is not a good GM, even though people say he is. But yeah, Mickey Loomis has made a right pig's ear of it, and that's why, again, Brad, with all the lack of restructuring he's done, has just made our cap situation so flexible. But yeah, I don't think we were able to compete with that 19 million a year deal for there. So Burkett's apparently said it's looking like Reed's here now, so it still seems to be a little bit of...
Somehow he called him, and then Reed was like, oh yeah, looks like likely, then put the phone down to speak to his agent. Hang on, what did you say about the Jags not overspending?
Oh, yeah. Apparently it is official now, DJ Reed. Someone's put
yeah, so the agency tweeted it out, yeah. But the Macari deal is out, and... oh,
God, what are they paying him?
9 on 40 million over 3 years.
Wow. Okay.
3 years, 37.5 million. Max value of 39 million, 20 million guaranteed.
Yeah. Carlton Wood, you're not getting rid of me that easy. Thanks for comfort break, though. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's power outage is such a pain in the arse thing. We were roughly going to stop it at about 7 as well when it went, but we thought, well, we'll come back, and I felt unfulfilled just leaving you all behind. So we'll be here for a little bit, and then we'll get out of here. But Brett goes, looks like Brad is betting the farm that Hutch comes back to 100% ASAP. Not thrilled after cutting Zadarius Smith. I mean, again, we're going to have to see, because some ball players might get cut before the deadline on Wednesday. There's still a few guys out there, and I mean, if our top 2 picks in the draft, we spend 2 top 60 picks on edge, then all of a sudden it might look a little bit different. And then, of course, you've got roster cut downs over the summer. I mean, we picked up Kamish off roster cut downs. We picked up Charles Harris off roster cut downs when he had his good year. So it's not the be all and end all. It's not an ideal situation, but certainly there's still a lot of avenues open to us at this point, because year 1 Harris and year 1 Kamish far exceeded the value that we paid for them, and with great rookies in there, and Hutch hopefully as well. It's not ideal, though, I agree with you. Maybe Zadarius comes back at a later date, because nobody's picked him up as of yet. So Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett to the Bears. Oh my God. This is not going to help the cause for people saying that our D-line is underdone. So the Bears not long ago got Adebayingo from the Colts, the edge rusher. Yeah. Grady Jarrett, the Pro Bowl defensive tackle and the lifelong Falcon. 3 years, $43.5 million, $28.5 million fully guaranteed. Right, all Lions fans out there right now, I want you to do me a favour. Just go to Twitter, open up Twitter, and if there's not one tweet of a Bears fan going, we're so back, y'all, the Lions are cooked, then you're doing something wrong. That is what I'm going to see now. We're going to see Bears fans going, oh yeah, we're better than the Lions at this point in time. It's, oh dear. Yes, Grady.
Oh, I must be doing Twitter wrong then, because apparently I have no Bears fans.
Well, yeah. Grady Jarrett, he's just going to get killed by Frank Ragnow, but still, it's the Bears are. Again, this is what a GM on a dying hot seat looks like. He's just spending every single penny at his disposal trying to save his own ass. And I mean, it is an improvement for that Bears D-line. It's good. They do have young defensive prospects at tackle. It's one of the few places they do have prospects at D-tackle. That Bears D-line, they're rebuilding it. It's the one we used to fear years ago.
Also, Titans have re-signed Sebastian Joseph Day as well. literally straight after. But
So
that
he was number 100 out of the 101
Yeah.
on the NFL.com's list. So 7.5 million for him. So the D tackle grades up. Oh wow. So yeah, Grady Jarrett is in Chicago. Sebastian Day heads back to his previous team. So
Jesus, that's actually cheap for him.
Jimmy Garoppolo's 1 year deal has a base of 4 million. So
It's just performance. That's performance incentives then, decent.
yeah, it is. Jarrett Stidham's is 2 years, 12 million with 7 million guaranteed. So he's on 3.5 a year. Oh, Aaron Banks.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yep. The Green Bay Packers have signed 49ers free agent guard Aaron Banks, and he's just coming off his rookie deal, and they said he's been a mainstay. I think he's played 50 games for the 49ers. So the Packers upgrading their offensive line at the right guard position. Aaron Banks is no details on the money as of this moment in time, but we should get that shortly. He was thought, because what I've read about him, 49ers fans have been up and down with him. They say he's alright, he's decent, but he's not elite. So I'd be interested to see.
He's graded out, roughly like averagely in the league. So this year he was the 33rd guard by PFF grade, 65.4. The year before, 60th out of 79, 52.8, 59.5 in 2022, 48 of 77. So he's a average guard.
And it depends what they've paid him. This has the potential to be a massive overpay because there's not many good interior options. Dolman went straight away. There's not many other good interior options knocking around, so you're going to have to pay for that. We'll get you the contract as it comes.
PFF are projecting 16.25 mil a year over 4 years.
Not much less than what Jonah got last year. What did Jonah get? 18?
Something like that.
Jonah got 18.
Fucking hell, it's an overpay.
Oh, if they
4 years, 77 mil.
How much? That's nearly 20 million a year. Oh my god!
65. Yeah.
Aaron Banks is getting nearly 20 million a year from the Packers, and he's an average starting guard. Wow.
Fucking hell, yeah. That is.
Nuts. I mean, guaranteed's got to be low on that. It's oh really? I mean, we didn't pay Jonah 18, and Jonah was a good guard for his entire rookie contract. Banks has been inconsistent at best. Whew, 4 years, 77 million. The market is going again. Everyone's going. So Joseph Day back to the Titans, 7.5 million for him. I mean, that's a good deal. 1 year prove-it deal, essentially, for him.
Ray Robertson Harris back to the Giants on a 2 year, 10 mil deal.
So that's a good deal for him as well. The former Chicago guy there. Donkey Kong goes, DE and D tackle will be drafted by Brad in rounds 1 and round 2. I would... he never drafts for need, but if you're going to guess, that's one of the best guesses out there, probably. And then he follows it up by going, Bears will always suck balls. Donkey Kong telling someone to suck balls just makes me laugh. I'm childish. I'm sorry, but I will never change my way. Brent goes, thanks for the dedication and for coming back, lads. I appreciate it, Brent. I'm sorry that we died off in the first place. It was just an annoying thing, so of course we're always going to come back. Lisa goes, at this moment in time the Bears have done what they need to do to get out the basement. Well, on paper they have. They now need to play good football and get out of the basement, but I agree, yeah, they are making good moves, not going to lie. Maybe not real big needle movers, but certainly they're getting depth. That D-line has depth now, and we're going to need to counter that. Donkey Kong goes, Colton, that's just too much. We just paid McNeil and Hutch is due. Yeah, 20 million a year, especially when you're getting DJ Reed for 16. That 4 million can make a lot of difference. So absolutely, he was out of our bounds there. Lost Oceans goes, going from the Eagles to the Cardinals is hilarious. Chase that money. Yeah, it's what free agency is about. Chasing the bag. Chase the bag, and whatever happens after that. I mean, hopefully the Cardinals come good in his time. If not, he's going to be rich for his troubles. Lisa goes, again, the 49ers lose another player. 49ers' problem is they've built around a core group of players and spent a ton of money on them. Not in a bad way, but your George Kittles, your Bosa's, and that's the trouble. What Brad's doing is great. and why we want to pay our own guys is great, but you do also run the risk that when you're around a core group of guys and you're paying them a ton of money, filling in the depth around them is the trouble. Which is why when we talk about bringing all our guys back and paying them, and Brad talks about it, there's going to be a big paying money guy who doesn't come back to Detroit at some point. We're not going to pay all of these rookies because it's just not sustainable for a roster. And that's what San Francisco have come up against. And they've done it without having to pay a quarterback, which is even the most infuriating thing. They looked out on... Sorry, go on.
So our favourite Packers fans just tweeted about the Aaron Banks deal.
Oh, Grossi?
No, the other one, the one we love to hate. It's the Marcus Whitman.
Oh, right, yeah.
I fucking quit, dude. Gutekunst is so bad at this.
In fact, have a look what Ken Ingalls is saying, because Ken Ingalls is the Packers cap specialist. I want to see what he says about that, because he knows cap better than anybody, and he knows value for deals. Ken Ingalls, Packers cap. You just put Ken.
Ingalls. Got it. Found him.
Ken Ingalls, Packer cap guy. He's like a cap super specialist nerd guy. He hasn't
tweeted about it yet.
Oh, right. In that case, I'm going to keep an eye on it, because he will tell you. He will probably hate that deal. But he's proper cap nerd.
Marcus has now just tweeted as well, I'm going to go play in traffic.
Oh, God. Hey, if Grossi's going to do that, he's going to do his thing where he goes and lays out in the road and shouts really loud.
Let me have a look at Grossi for you. Tom Grossi. Has he tweeted about it yet?
Oh yeah, by the way, thanks for that, Lisa. Samaj Perrine, we did mention before the end of the last stream that he would have been paid heavily by the Bucks. Then that deal got reneged and he's gone back to the Bengals again. So the Bucks are redeemed. Thank you. Forgot to mention that.
The Bucks have had a really good one so far.
They have indeed. It's just been an absolutely crazy day when it comes to the big signings. So out of the best free agents list here, Milton Williams obviously got his massive deal in New England. Sam Darnold has got his deal in Seattle. Chris Godwin has gone back to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Carlton gone to the Patriots, $20 million a year, y'all. I'm not going to begrudge him that in the slightest. Good for him. DJ Reed coming to the Lions for $16 million a year, which is just an absolutely tremendous deal as far as we're concerned. Drew Dahlman, of course, went to the Bears. We expected him to on the centre position, but they're paying him more than Frank Ragnow for the 20th time I've said that today. Sorry, go on.
TJ Slayton to the Bengals, 2 years, $15.1 million. So that's their former nose tackle.
Packers D. That's the old Packers DT.
The old nose tackle. Yeah,
go
their
Pack,
old nose
go.
tackle. Quite literally.
Oh yes. So the Roy Robert Harris one's out now. He's gone to the Giants. Grady Jarrett's has been confirmed as well. Who else has gone today? So Hassan Reddick gone to the Bucks. $12 million. That's decent value for them. Trayvon Moehrig cashed in big time. $17 million a year at the safety position paid to him by the Panthers. So, go get your money, man. That's absolutely great for him. We're now at Charvarius Ward stage. He is the biggest free agent left on the market, and we wonder where he goes, but he may take his time, especially given his circumstances. I guess it would be Byron Murphy after that. So Perrine got 2 years, about $8 million or something like that. It's not too bad a deal for either one or all of them. We're going to have to dig deeper down the list now for other guys who are still on the market, because Levi's going to be up there at some point.
Yeah, you'd think.
So the best available, Charvarius Ward, Amari Cooper, Byron Murphy, Drake Greenlaw, Javon Holland, Will Freeze, Will Freeze still been there. That could be a Lions move potentially. He's young, right guard. It's a position we potentially need him. He did have a broken tibia last season, but the value you're going to get potentially is good. Asante Samuel's there, Malcolm Kuntz there, Justin Reed, Cam Robinson. Then you've got Stephon Diggs. Tavon Jenkins is still out there. Tavon Jenkins is someone I won't mind the Lions bringing in.
Batista, Tom,
Javon Hargrave, he's still out there, and then Levi.
Still out there.
And then after that, you got Evan Ingram, Calais Campbell. If you're looking at the, defensive line, then Zeitler's there, Josh Myers, Chase Young. That'd be the unpopular one for the Lions, but as a depth piece potentially. And then Azeez Ojolari. DeMarcus Lawrence is out there, but he's 33, but potentially another option for us. Yes, D-Map Zoom. As of right now, the Lions have just got DJ Reed and nobody else. It's just the only deal made so far, but it's a pretty big wad of change to dole out for someone given our cap situation and players we're about to pay and that. So they've not been afraid to make a big move, but it's just a singular move so far. Whether they do another, I don't know. Najee Harris is out there. Jonathan Allen is still out. Jonathan Allen never anything came of that yet, did it?
He's still meeting with the Vikings, I believe.
With teams. That would be a kick in the teeth if it. Mekhi Becton's out there. I tell you what, the guard market's still relatively good if we want to bring in another guard between Freeze, Becton, etc. Tashawn Wharton, he's the Chiefs DT. He's still on the market.
Here you go. So your Ken tweeted, if the APY is accurate, let's wait for the details, and Aaron Banks would be the Packers' new top paid O-line.
He'd be the top paid O-lineman full stop? Wow.
On the Packers, yeah. And it's been confirmed that the Reed signing will cancel out the Carlton Davis contract for top pick.
That makes sense, because 20 to 16 is still quite a lot of money, so it's about the overall value of the deal pretty much. So unless Levi gets offered something stupid somewhere, then I don't know if there's anyone else who's going to command that type of deal, unless Zeitler gets someone. I mean, there's potential out there.
Zeitler, someone really loves Tim Patrick. Someone bets on Iffy.
But I think Levi's the only one who might draw more than 10 million a year.
Jags have done another dumb. They've got to see the AVY, but they've just signed Chuma Adoga, the tackle.
Okay.
Probably going to overpay for him as well. He was PFF's. Doubt he's even going to be on here. Yeah, it's not in the top 200. Yeah, Adoga wasn't even listed.
Oh god. Okay, that's a fun one.
Welcome, well done to the Jags. I've got him on my Madden team.
Yeah. So,
but yeah.
So when
10 games the past 2 seasons he's played.
So when you see it in writing, someone's reading it. So DJ Reed, Terry and Arnold, Amit Robertson, Ennis Rakestraw, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. That is not a bad secondary. That is a pretty decent secondary. It just feels like we need one more. I say we need another hybrid, but we've got Branch. We either need one more specialist corner or one more specialist safety, and that room is pretty lit. Oh, Bailey's back. Of course Bailey's going to be back after Grady Jarrett's in the room. Bears are so back, Lions are cooked. See, you didn't even need to go to Twitter to find them. Sorry, Bailey goes, that was a joke. I'm just a bit behind on your stream. Poles clearly did not get the contract extension. Spending a lot of money as needs early results. That is true. He does. And as we mentioned, that's why, Ben probably doesn't want to build this way. I know he wants to win. The desire to win is great, but when your GM needs results, of course you're going to say they need to do this and they need to do that. But we remember, the Bears have handed out massive contracts in recent years. Montez Sweat, they spent a lot of money to get him in Chicago, and they've made these big flashy signings when we've been building from scratch and we've still ended up on top. It doesn't always work. They have spent a ton of money on guys, and it doesn't always equate. You've got to have the young core to go with it before you do, and I just don't think they do right now. So they're going to be a pain in the arse to beat as usual. And again, that D-line is a little worrying. So we want to sort our O-line out to make sure we're ready to deal with it. We want to make sure we've got the depth ready to deal with it as well. But yeah, still waiting on the big receivers. So obviously, De'Ami Brown's gone, Josh Palmer's gone, but there's still Stephon Diggs there. There's still Amari Cooper there. Not much flavour towards the veteran wide receivers here. More going for the young ones. Lisa goes, it's a good secondary. We need D-line more than... Yes, we do need D-line. We do. We need 2 or 3 guys on the D-line at this point. But, again, as I mentioned, there's a lot of ways to go yet. There's still free agency. There's still a lot of guys out there. There's roster cut-downs. There's the draft. Again, we got Charles Harris, John Kaminsky off roster cut-downs. It's not impossible to find these guys out there. We're probably going to spend some high draft picks on these guys as well. So, all is not lost. It's just we've not gone big money on it at this moment in time. Baylor goes, Sweat should be healthy this year. Deo is very good, but think that's an overpay. Grady, Dexter and Billings not solid on the interior. Better than last year. I think Dexter's going to work out. Well, Billings has done well, given his scenario. And you've got 2 DTs as well, haven't they? There's another one in there. Gervon Dexter and there's... South Carolina.
South Carolina.
It was the South Carolina DT they've got as well. So they've got depth. It's not a bad Bears D line by any stretch of the imagination. Zach Pickens, that's it. So it's got depth to it, and it's potential to be good. It's not been that fearsome D line that always used to kill us, like all the time when Mac was in his prime, and they had
Leonard Floyd
and all that. Those were the days that I don't remember fondly.
Akeem Hicks as well.
Hicks. Although Frank Ragnow ended Akeem Hicks's career, and I will forever love Frank Ragnow for ending Akeem Hicks in one play. I swear he was never the same after that. Like Frank just absolutely killed him. But yeah, you've got to respect the Bears are going all in for this year, so of course they're going to be a danger. So Packers, they may, I think they're going to overtake one of the Packers or the Vikings, depending. So the Vikings have just lost so much talent that they're going to have a go at somebody, certainly. And they might give us issues. I want to play them week 1. I want to play them week 1. I know the NFL doesn't do it, but I want to kick their ass week 1 and let them know who's what. I don't want them having 3/4 of a season to get ready for us, like they did last year. We're always scheduled so late against them. So yeah, TJ Slayton, $15 million. That feels like a lot of money for TJ Slayton.
It's on a 2-year deal though, so it's split. It's split to be like $7 million, 7.5 mil each.
Oh,
not as bad.
Question for you from Carlton. Oh, this is your wheelhouse. Are Tim Patrick and Josh Reynolds worth the same dollar?
Oh, that's a good one.
So let's say let's say what I offer you both players at $7 million per year. Who do you pick? And while you're thinking about that, I'll let you have a think. So Bailey goes, thoughts on the Aaron Banks deal? Feels like a lot of money. Bailey, that is a ton of money. Aaron Banks has been, he's just coming off his rookie deal. He's young, but from 49ers fans and what I've read, because I had a look thinking, well, we'll get him for the Lions. Inconsistency has apparently riddled his game, and he's never quite really made the developments expected of him. And for him to now be paid up there, he's paid more than Jonah Jackson, probably paid more than Joe Tooney as well. That's a crazy overpay from the Packers. It depends on the deal. It depends on how much guaranteed there is, but on paper, it's wildly overpaid.
I'd still take Tim Patrick at $7 million, even though he's projected to get like 3.
Is there a level where you change your mind, or would you just take Tim Patrick full stop, regardless of what the money was? Is that just a monetary thing?
It's the same, if they're getting the same money, then I'll just pick Patrick, because better the devil you know, the devil you don't. Like Reynolds went. Patrick's got that chemistry with him. He knows the offense right now. It's better. Like
tiny bit older, isn't he? I think
tiny bit older, and he's obviously got the injury stuff that weighs him down heavily.
So, is there a big difference between? Because I guess Carlton's question when he says, "Are they worth the same money?" Is there a big difference between what they're worth?
Not really. Not for me.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Also, Aaron Banks slots in at number 6 for all guards in terms of AAV. Behind Quentin Nelson, Robert Hunt, Chris Lindrum, Landon Dickerson, Trey Smith.
Good. elite. He doesn't deserve to be in there. When you say it like that, then that makes you realise, and Bailey, that hopefully makes you realise what sort of deal that is.
So, Elton Jenkins on the same team is getting 2.25 mil less per year. Jonah is also getting 2.25 mil less per year. Joe Tooney is getting 3.25 mil less a year. Joe Antonio is getting 3.25 mil. Teller getting much less a year.
Wow, that's crazy.
For comparison, Zeitler is getting less than a third of what Aaron Banks is getting this year. Zeitler got last year. 6 mil to 19.25 mil.
Yeah. Brent goes, if a player chooses Arizona over Detroit right now, it's money. Shame on Brad for not making it happen. I don't know.
And because the head coach in Arizona is Jonathan Gannon, who used to be the defensive coordinator in Philadelphia, so he's picking someone who knows how to use them.
Players like coaches. Players a lot of times will pick coaches, and plus when you get into 19 mil a year for an edge, you're getting into irresponsible territory as well. They probably had a line for him, and someone's just gone a little bit over that, and you've got to be careful. Bailey goes, who is one realistic free agent left you guys would love? I mean, for me, I'm looking at guard position right now, depending on whether Zeitler's, but obviously edges and DTs and that, but there's no one I am enamoured with. I would say I really like the thought of Tevin Jenkins or the Jacksonville one, which I've just completely forgotten again.
Brandon Scherf. I
think Tevin Jenkins is younger, and I think that Hank would do a wonder job with it because he's shown he can be good. Yeah. And I will say this: the Bears have not shown that they can develop offensive line. Name me one guy on offensive line they've developed good recently. Like Braxton Jones is, he has survived against all odds in that position. Darnell Wright's looked okay, but no one's become a superstar on that line. I would say coaching's involved here. So I would be willing to bet on a young guard who we can slot behind Graham Glasgow for a little bit and then let him take over in the long term. I would love to see Tevon Jenkins here, and I think that's realistic. I don't think he can ask for tons of money.
For me, Malcolm Kuntz. Just get me that edge 2, knows what he's doing, good against the run, and because he's coming off that's obviously injury. I know PFF's projecting him at 18.75. He's not going to command that. He's going to probably command 12, 13.
Then we can have more Malcolms on the team. I feel like there's a good joke in there about having too many Malcolms on your team at some point. So I'll have to.
Yeah, if we sign him for cheaper, we can have another Malcolm in the middle.
Oh God! You always take the low-hanging fruit. There's got to be 3 of them to be a Malcolm. You can't have 2 Malcolm. You can't be in the middle of 2 people.
Because he's playing if he plays the mic, he'll be in the middle.
Yeah, but you can't be in the middle of 2 people. You've got to have 3 Malcolms. We need another Malcolm. Over tangent there. Perry Ball goes, Anthony, what do you think of the DJ Reed signing? I mean, we both love the DJ Reed signing, especially considering the money that's been given out.
Especially since supposedly the reason Byron Murphy hasn't been signed yet is because he's telling teams he wants 20 mil a year plus.
Well, it's value. Again, we keep going back to it. Paulson Adebo got 18 million a year. Is Paulson Adebo better than DJ Reed? No, absolutely not. Value Brad's got for him is tremendous, and with CD gone, we needed a veteran corner in the room, and we lost one of the best free agent corners in the draft. We replaced him with one of the best free agent corners in the free agency, Doig. So yeah, I really like the deal. We both really like the deal, so yeah, Brad's done a good bit of work there in our view. Jody Carruthers says, hi everyone. Hi Jody, hope you are doing well. Brent goes, do you think hang on. Suspect edge setting ability is factored into the decision? Oh, Sweat. Sorry, I'm going blind. Do you think Sweat's suspect edge setting ability is factored into the decision?
Potentially.
I think it's money.
It's definitely money, but it comes into it, and obviously he's been quietly consistent, but this is like his big one. Obviously, fucking Super Bowl, and it's kind of been his thing like last season.
And it's production on a stacked line. you always are a bit more suspicious when it's a stacked line. Like Milton Williams, you would be suspicious of because you're just surrounded by talent, and you've done well in your own right. So it's hard to gauge. Can you do it when you're a number one, or you're a high level guy on a team, not part of a big ass rotation? Like Josh Sweat would have been number 2 here, easy, and if Hutch went down, he'd be the number 1 guy we'd be expecting to deliver. Can he do that in that situation? You don't know. You just can't be sure about it. Baylor goes, Tevon is a Pro Bowl talent if healthy, worth the risk, especially on that line with elite talent around him. Injury prone though, which based on your injury look last year would be tough. It would, but we've got Graham Glasgow. So I would mitigate the circumstances against that. I think we've got good depth for him if he goes down. I don't think he'd start in necessarily either, so I think the situation works for him pretty good.
Yeah.
Perry Ball goes, Barnes signing is okay and Davenport's sign is a bad. 4.75 million in cap space is what people forget. It's spread out.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1.6 in like actual, and then there's stuff you can get towards
exactly.
it.
There's incentive. It's very heavily incentivized. Let me get
yeah.
so
I mean, I still think it's 1.6 too much, but so, I can see it.
It is. Yeah. So it's supposed to be so 1.625 guaranteed, and then the rest is like performance escalators.
Mm.
So it's barely a dent. Like according to Spot Track, it's literally 0.63% of our cap.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm of the opinion that we should bother like we were last year with Mosley, but I can see why they've done it. If he hits, then you're getting value insanely higher than what you're paying him. But I can understand
as an edge 3 or 4, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I get that. I would hope, and this is the thing. People say he's cheap. So if he's cheap, I want his value on the depth chart to be cheap as well. Mm-hmm. I don't want him to be edge 2. Like that would be unacceptable for me. He needs to be edge 4 or 5 to be reflected to what he's paid. Perry also goes, if you had to let walk between JMO, Branch, Kirby and Laporta, who would you let walk or try to trade? I would let JMO and Branch Oh.
Laramie Tunsil has just got traded to the Washington Commanders.
Oh, there we go.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We'll get back to that question in a moment, Perry, sorry. But yes, the Washington Commanders have a new left tackle, Laramie Tunsil. That is a good signing for them. Who's their left tackle currently? Well, Cosby's on the right, but it was, I guess, that
Cornelius Lucas was their former left tackle.
So obviously they've learnt their lessons from the absolute whammering they were given by the Eagles. Got to upgrade that offensive line.
So their right tackle, their left tackle was supposed to be Brandon Coleman, the former Washington guy, who will now flip to the right tackle position because Cosme's right guard for them.
And it is for a package of picks, not just one. Oh, come on, let's have a game. What do we reckon? Everybody quickly, have a game. What's Laramie Tunsil been traded for?
Let me just look up what a certain other guy got traded for. Where is it? Okay, it's going to get more than that. I'm going to say a third this year and a third next year.
Hang on.
Which in comparison is... Are you Googling what Trent Williams got traded for?
No, I'm Googling what picks they've got.
That's a... Yeah.
Washington's draft capital this year, they have 29, 61 and 79.
Oh, it's been announced. It's been announced. Right.
Okay.
I'm wrong.
I'm going to say it's a second.
And...
Oh, wow. Oh, Jesus, I've just seen it. Wow.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
A second and a fourth and a third this year. So I'm assuming the second and the fourth are next year, if he's put it that way. They don't have a fourth this year.
Yes,
they don't have a fourth or a fifth. And they're giving away their third this year. So, let's just put this into context. They've got pick 61. They're giving up pick 79. They're not picking between 61 and 186. That's cray. They're going to have to go back from 29 and get some picks from there. So, officially, Laramie Tunsil to the... in fact, no. Houston's sending a 4th rounder back, so they will have a 4th this year. But a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th. The 2nd and 4th are next year. The 3rd is this year. They get back a 4th this year and Tunsil. Wow. I mean, that's a good deal, I guess. I mean, he's excellent. The 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, it's a lot. But they're going all in for this year because they're giving away next year's draft capital. And this year, they've not got that much either.
And the deals keep rolling in. This one's actually a nice one. Raiders have signed Jeremy Chin, 2 years, 16 mil, with 75% of that guaranteed. So that's about 12 mil.
So Jeremy Chin's only getting $8 million a year.
Yes.
Wow, that's less than half of what Trayvon Moore got. Wow, that seems like fantastic deal on the. That seems like one of the deals of the day. Quite frank.
Hell yeah, yeah. I'd happily have took Chin at that price.
So, I mean, the Commanders are going up. The Commanders are really going for it at this point. So, say that's this year's and next year's drafts, which are they're barren, really, in terms of picks now. I think they are now massively in a trade down position at 29 or at 61 just to get some picks back. 'Cause you can't go from 60 to 180 without a pick, especially if you want to compete and you want to keep flexibility going forward. And obviously, you know, as Perry rightly says, you've got your quarterback on a rookie deal. You want to maximise it while you can. Go for it.
Yeah. So Raps confirms that, but the 2nd and the 4th are next year's one.
The 2nd and the 4th are next year, and then the 3rd's this year, and then the 4th they get back, I assume, is this year. So they might not have to wait 120 picks, but it's going to be a gap. They're not going to have many picks this year unless they do some trading back. But yeah, big news then on free agency day. We got a big ass trade in the building. Laramie Tunsil has gone to the Commanders. So now, as Schefter's just rightly put, Debo's there, Marshawn Lattimore's there, Laramie Tunsil's there. They've made some free agency splashes today. Washington and Tampa really are going for it.
They are. I like it. Gives a bit of competition.
They are indeed. Quickly back, because I don't want to ignore Perry's question here, but back to the theoretical. So if you had to let walk between JMO, Branch, Kirby and Laporta, who would you let walk or try to trade? So let's theoretically say we've got to let 2 of them go. He says JMO and Branch. I would be letting JMO and...
Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. Don't make me break my own heart.
I don't want to pay top dollar for a tight end, though. You know what? I would say JMO and Laporta, and I wouldn't be... not fussed. In fact, no, I love JMO. Why am I saying JMO? Laporta's gone, as far as I'm concerned. We've got 2,000-yard receivers on the roster already, and he's a tight end. I just figured we'd get the value there. It would be between JMO and Kirby other than that, because there's no way in a... I'm never letting Brian Branch go, ever. If one of them was a corner, I'd keep them both. But they're not, really. I don't want to let Kirby go. But I do. I have an emotional attachment to JMO. Because I just love JMO as a human and what he does, and, you know. Right, I'm going to say it. Laporta and Kirby go for me, and I keep Branch and JMO. But I don't do it willingly. I don't want any of them to. I want them all to stay here.
Kirby and JMO.
Yeah, I get it.
Receivers go in. Someone's going to overpay for him, and then we'd probably won't draft someone to the ability of JMO, but someone that can do that field stretching ability to 80-90% of what he does, or someone cheap like fucking Jalen Hyatt. What the fuck's he done on the Giants?
Yeah.
Like, he's not JMO. He can do JMO like things.
There's no right answer here. We just want to keep all 4 of them, but yeah,
hell yeah,
would be a tough one.
we to have live on pod the day that Kirby goes.
Yeah.
Or to like.
I don't know. JMO's just. I don't know what JMO's done to me. Like I have such an emotional attachment to the guy, which I reserve that for my draft crushers, not for Lions players. There's just something about him I just love to death. I could never let him go. Steve Lakins goes, we should trade for Hendrickson, re-sign Zedarius, and draft a top D in the draft. That'd be amazing.
Well, don't look at the Lions official account then, because their latest tweet will upset you.
Oh, why? What's they put now?
They've made yesterday's news official.
Oh yeah, they've let him go. So yeah. I do think I would want two high caliber edges coming in, whether it be free agency, draft, whatever. I need two. Brent goes, can't we keep them all? We could. Again, with what Brad has done with the lack of restructuring on deals and that, he can free up a boatload of room for us if we need it and still not really go after the long-term financial security here. Again, we've only got 4.4 million of restructures on this roster. $500,000's the damn punter. So it can be done if they really want to do it. Lisa goes, guess we will have to see what Brad thinks. Maybe they trade Decker to get capital. They ain't trading Decker. Decker's not getting traded. Who are we replacing with Taylor Decker? I am not putting Giovanni Manu anywhere near this team. Anywhere. I don't care what the beat writers say about how good he is and that. He's not touching this team for at least another 2 years, as far as I'm concerned. We're not trading Decker at all. Sorry, Ash, you made a noise.
So more of the Aaron Banks contracts come out. He's getting 63 million over the first 3 years. So he's getting paid 21 mil average over the first 3 years. Which,
good Lord, that's the highest in the NFL, right? No guard's paid more than 21 million a year in the NFL.
I swear. Well, what's his name? Trey.
No, it's Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson doesn't even get paid that much. Trey Smith's on the tag, actually, so he does. But
yes. So
guys
Landon Dickerson also gets 21 million. So he's come into the second. So he's now the second highest paid guard in the league
good
with Landon Dickerson.
Aaron Banks, the second highest paid guard in the NFL.
Technically, yeah.
Wow, he's had their pants down. His agent, he should be buying a bottle of Dom Perignon for his agent. Mm-hmm. That is a mother of all fleece jobs. Green Bay might have just given out the worst contract of the day.
Yeah. Well, except for wait, it's the second worst move because obviously this is such a what's just happened, such a shit move for the Texans. Like CJ Stroud's going to die. The only QB to have more hits on him last year was Joe Burrow.
What does this do to? So where's Houston picking in the draft? They're not picking until 25.
25. Josh Connolly.
So they've got to go tackle now. Surely, you've got to beef up your unless they're going for another free agent guy. But you've got. I mean, obviously they've got some more picks now to help.
Lee. Yeah.
Or you go for Simmons from Ohio State. But
Josh Simmons, yeah.
So Perry Ball goes, who's your top 3 target for our 28 pick? Nolan.
2 of them I mentioned earlier.
Walter Nolan, Donovan Aziruaku, and who else would I pay 28 for? Because there's guys I'd go up for. Skoughton. Of course. Nick Skoughton, Walter Nolan, Donovan Aziruaku. I think that's where my 3 would be.
Skoughton, Grace Abel, and Jihad Campbell. Though I don't think he's going to be there, but if he does fall to us, Jihad Campbell.
There's people I'd go up for as well, but for 28, that's where I'd like to be. I mean, Walter Nolan's such a... Ooh.
Nolan is supposedly...
Walter's the one that makes me horny if we get him there. The fact that those 3 are going to... I'm sorry, DJ, Walter Nolan and Aleem when they're all healthy is just... That gets me going. Donkey Kong goes, that's all we needed in free agency, a number 1 cornerback. Brad will add some depth guys also in coming days. Brad rules. I agree. We could potentially get away with this. Just if it's just him and there's some depth pieces around, as long as he drafts correctly. He might need to draft more for need this year, which he doesn't normally like to do, but as long as he does that, this is an acceptable day if the draft goes the way that we think he might do. Steve goes Chicago, making lots of improvements. They're going all in because their GM's on a hot seat. So they are making moves which make them stronger, which you would expect from them. Perry goes, the Pats are looking good on paper. Correction, their defense is looking amazing on paper. Their offense is still looking a bit iffy at this moment in time, but that's Mike Vrabel teams for you. Lost Oceans agrees with Jihad Campbell. Steve goes Green, potentially Mike Green, but depends with his whole rap and that. Stuff, but potentially. Yeah. Bob Olan goes to DT from Oregon. That's Derek Harmon. So Derek Harmon potentially as well. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. Yeah. Carlton goes Scowerton, Zabel, Nolan, Harmon. Yeah, we're in sort of the right ballpark here. Everyone's saying DTs and the trench players. They're trench players. That is the common theme with that one there. But yeah, I think that's everything for messages for now. Again, if you have anything you want to ask us of that while we're here, then just let us know. This thing is very open and fluid as to how long we're going to be here. Jeremy Chin. I still can't believe they've got Jeremy Chin for that little cheap deal. Yeah. So Commanders get the 4th round pick this year. That's right. Oh, hang on. There's a 7th in there as well. Texans have got a 7th round pick this year. Wow. The Commanders are going to have let's go back to this. Oh, they've got 3 7th rounders this year, so they're giving up. They're going to get a 4th, which is fine, but they're giving up 3, and they're giving it there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to have 6, but 4 of them are in day 3. They've only got 29 and 61. They're picking right behind us in the 2nd round.
Another edge is off the board.
Boom,
former Viking
boom,
Patrick
boom.
Jones.
Oh.
To the Panthers. 2 years, 20 mil.
That seems like steady numbers for him. That seems like inoffensive numbers for him. Mm-hmm. He's league average. That's a decent deal for him. That's pretty good there. So the edge market continues to move.
Down back to earth a bit, which we like to say.
Yeah. Steve goes, Jackson O-line is good too for the Pats. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, it's not bad. They've got parts on there. Brent goes Grant. Kenneth Grant ain't going to be there at 28, and if he is, then something went wrong with the draft. Kenneth Grant is who Chargers. You trade up for. Yeah, we've said this. And they've just let Poona Ford go today, the Chargers have, so they're loading up for another DT pick. And Jim Harbaugh once called him a gift from God. That is just about as much a commendation as you need from somebody to show they're in for them. Perry Ball goes, I could see the Pats going heavy on the offense in the draft. Absolutely, 100%. Mm-hmm. Like, Tet's well in play with that. If I was them, I'd trade back, get Luther Burden or one of the 2nd-tier first-round receivers, stack up on picks and get more offensive picks. But I would not be surprised. They could have potentially a mostly offensive draft. I agree with you entirely there. Carlton goes, Brent, I'd rather go for a 1/3 tech than a nose tackle. This team does need a nose tackle. What?
One tech is a nose tackle.
Yeah, I think he's meaning like a 0 to 1 tech guy, and then someone who can play a little wider. I mean, technically the Lions do need a nose tackle because Aleem is not holding that position down anymore. Aleem has been fully versatile.
So Aleem plays that 3-4 right now in our scheme.
Yeah, he's moved out.
It's Reader who plays the 1 tech, and then behind him is Broderick Martin.
And Reader's out of contract next year. And Broderick, who knows, is still a development project at the minute. So the need for a nose is not, we could do with one. Now, they're pretty much all the noses this year are development in the draft. So I don't know if they do it again, but certainly a nose tackle is a need for the Lions, a pure-blooded nose tackle. Brent's going Ty Robinson. I'm sorry, Brent. I will watch Ty Robinson tape one day. I've just got that much on my plate at the moment, but I will get back to you with him.
When we do DTs in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, we'll do DTs soon. We've decided we're going to do safeties for the prospect review next week. So you're going to hear us talk about safeties. Then we'll probably talk about DTs, and then we'll do an offensive set because we're talking a lot about defenders at this moment. But yeah, so the full trade terms for Tunsil. Commanders get Tunsil and a 4th round pick this year. Texans get a 3rd, and a 7th this year, and a 2nd and a 4th next year. So you're averaging that out. They've got a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 7th for Tunsil, which is not too bad. And that probably gives them a good cap sitch as well, getting off him, because Tunsil is very highly paid. Perry goes, who do you think can have a big fall in the first round? Tet. James Pearce. Mike Green, depending on the situation outside of that. Shador, maybe. I know people are trying to go after Mason Graham and his size, but I don't think those arguments are going to stick. No, I think James Pearce is certainly up there. Mike Green's certainly up there. But yeah, those are the few I think are the ones who could suffer potential. But Tet really could. I think Tet really did himself no good not performing at the combine. He's going to have a killer pro day. And if people are going to go tackles, edges early, wide receiver might drop down people's boards. And some people might not consider him to be wide receiver 1. So Tet's the one I'd look to drop, potentially. Lisa goes, Tunsil been traded to the Texans for a 2nd and 4th. Yeah, it's a 2nd, 4th, and a 7th. And there's a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 7th. And 4ths are getting swapped between years. Best safety is from South Carolina. I'm assuming you mean in Nick Amenwari. So yeah, he is a beast. I was just thinking how many prospects are coming from that South Carolina team this year. It's insane. There's loads, and at every defensive position they've got a top prospect. Like, how did this team not win anything this year? What else have we got? So the Commanders off-season: Laramie Tunsil, Deebo Samuel, Javon Kinlaw, Bobby Wagner back, Zach Ertz back, John Bates back. It's pretty decent. It's a good start. It's a good start indeed. Deebo and Terry are going to be underrated, a very good pairing. Where is Graham going? Mason Graham should go number 1 overall, but he won't. He's going to Tennessee. They won't. Cleveland. They won't. Giants. They won't. I tell you what, if Mike Vrabel's an absolute sicko, he could take him at 4. Jacksonville, I certainly think, would be in play because they need something on that defensive line. You know what? I think Mike Vrabel might actually do that deal. But I think 5's his floor.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. So yeah, I don't even know who the Jags have got at defensive tackle.
I don't think it's anyone good. There's no one I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think they got a load of vets in there.
Devon Hamilton, Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson, former Lion Jeremiah Ledbetter, Tyler Lacey.
Yeah. He's. I think Jacksonville will be all in on him if he's there at 5. I think that seems more feasible because New England has to get some offensive weapons. Perry Ball goes, do you think the Titans take a quarterback at 1?
I think a QB does go at 1, but it's not the Titans that pick him.
I think the Titans might trade it. But
to the Giants.
New York. Yeah. I think that would be a good possibility. I don't. If they stay there though, I wouldn't take one if I was them. But the fact that they've gone out and spent $80 million on Dan Moore would suggest that they're gonna load up a rookie behind him. They've paid a lot for a left tackle today, and an average left tackle at that. So you got to figure they probably do. I just don't want it to be Cam Ward. I don't want him to get ruined by them. Anything new on Hendrickson from Rick C? No, nothing has been mentioned about trade today, has it? I've not seen it.
Literally nothing I've seen. No, literally nothing I've seen.
No, nothing new on him so far. Steve goes, JC Horn contract was nuts. Yes, he's the highest. JC Horn is the highest paid defensive back in the NFL. Does not feel like a sentence I can say and feel feel like I'm being truthful, because I know I'm lying, but it is a big overpay from them. But he's, at the end of the day, he's one of their own. They drafted him, they paid him. That is a culture setting thing. However bad it may be, it's still not the worst thing in the world that you pay your own guys a lot of money. Carlton goes another D. Yeah, Patrick Jones has gone. Might have some more.
Dante Jackson to the Chargers, 2 years, 13 mil.
Dante Jackson to the Chargers, 2 years, 13 mil. There you go. Edge market. And this is depth edge pieces are starting to go now. So,
corner. He's a corner.
Oh, sorry.
Dante
Corner.
Jackson's
Yeah,
a corner.
sorry. I'm miles off. Yeah. So yeah, still no one's biting on Javarius Ward or Byron Murphy or Asante Samuel. Like, Asante Samuel could be a depth piece somewhere. So yeah, that is what NFL Network is saying. I mean, Raps just put the trade terms up on Twitter now, so it gives you them in their full of what they've got there. Brent goes, your prediction is Jacksonville making a smart pick after skipping on Hutch. No, it's on the bottom of the screen. My top number one pick to make a balls up today is either Jacksonville or New England. I don't think they'll make a good one.
It's the Texans.
Yeah,
it's the Texans. To not even get a second this year, they're fucked.
D-Max, whom no, the Lions have not made any more moves yet. Maybe feels like they're done for the day, unless they're about to do something right this very second. Yeah. Diabolical. I love that. Diabolical. Just something filthy. Oh, I don't even know. Again, the guard market been slow. I'm surprised with, because the guard market isn't exactly stacked at the top of the draft this year. I mean, it's alright, but.
Which is why Aaron Banks got what he did.
Maybe it's that. Maybe Aaron Banks has just sort of broke everyone else, and it's.
Oh. There is no deal yet for Slater's go to Pittsburgh. He remains under contract with the Eagles, but has permission to speak to other teams regarding a possible trade.
See, I think we're now out of the equation for him. I don't think Darius Slay comes to Detroit now that we've got DJ Reed. Like, his value is gone, unless he's here for nothing. Jags have a new GM, yes. Hang on. Yes, but they've got the same owner. The Jags do, so. But they got the new head coach as well. Traitor, Liam Cohen. They've been better this year. They've not been as bad, but they're still not great. They've still not gotten this down to a work just yet. Excuse me. So yeah, Dante Jackson's deal's confirmed there. Chargers cornerback, still no DT there, so still Kenneth Grant time potentially. They've put this about 4 times now. I'm going to go back to this one. I don't think we really covered this deal. So, what do you reckon Hufanga's deal? 3 years, 45 million. So that's a 15 million deal for Talanoa Hufanga. It's
more than I was expecting him to get, but at the same time, he kind of deserves it. It's like a former All-Pro. Like, that puts him... Yeah, exactly. It's him and Cam Bynum got pretty much the exact same AAV. It's just that Bynum's got an extra year.
It's been a good... It's been a great day to be a safety.
Mm-hmm. Even Chin comes in like in the top 20 for safety deals.
But Talanoa, so his problem again has been injuries, like so many others. Yeah. Injuries have kind of ruined it. He could have been the top paid safety in the NFL if he'd have carried on doing what he did. But certainly the deals have been there, and of course Morig has blown them all out the water with 17 million. Steve, it was announced he was going, but it's so just for the record, like again with all these deals today. Nothing is confirmed. None of these deals get processed till Wednesday, and the deals can be reneged on. They can go elsewhere. There's basically nothing is in stone at this moment in time. So, changes can happen. It was reported he was going there, but it seems to be that they've not reached a proper finalisation yet. Maybe someone else has stepped in at the last moment. Who knows? We saw it with Samaj Perrine earlier. It was announced and then it quickly went back and he quickly went to the Bengals. So it seems likely that's where he'll go. But again, until Wednesday, none of these are fully confirmed. So we'll see with him. Perry Ball goes, any under the radar guy in free agency that can help us on cheap deals? Again, you're looking at injured players when it comes to this.
Let me go through position by position then. Receiver, let's go that first because it's up. God no. Well,
God no. Love that. Just
exactly.
God no.
I'm on the NFL. I'm on the NFL. I was on the NFL one, and it wasn't really, giving much. Let's have a look. So obviously, aside from my own guys, obviously, Mike Williams fills that X role. Not the best though, but you can get him cheap. Like the PFF projects him 1 year, $6 million. Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Potentially, yeah.
That's about Van Jefferson. 1 year, $1.5 million.
I feel like he'd do the JMO thing here of trying to get deep. I feel like he's not got the. I feel like he's not got the versatility other than being a go route runner and doing it that way. He
is 6'1", 200, maybe.
Van Jefferson's always been built on his speed. When Cooper Kupp and that used to do the intricate middle of the field work, he just used to go deep all the time and spread it.
Tight end. The one that I would have said is actually re-signed, and that was John Bates. Like everyone else is kind of, that role's gone. Sucks.
I think if you could prize Asante Samuel for nothing as a reclamation project, like guys like that would give you value for money. And still, maybe we need additionals. We need more guys in a corner, at least as
Lucas Patrick at guard.
Yeah. Like, guard's the good position this year, I think. Like, Brandon Scherf's not in a position to ask for much. Tevin Jenkins isn't. I don't even know what Freeze's market's going to be coming off a serious injury. Potentially, Freeze could be...
Freeze is... Let me have a look.
Like, potentially, Freeze could be good value. He's coming off a bad injury, though. But if he is what he is there, it's terrific value for us.
He's projected 4 years, 57.25 mil. So that's 0.3 over.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not spending 57 million on an offensive lineman. No. Not with the amount of money we've got invested in it already. And picks.
Safety wise, Chuck Clark at safety.
Justin Simmons. We've been asking for Justin Simmons for years. Do you reckon maybe now is the time we could finally get him?
True, yeah. Simmons could, that could work. Corners. Obviously, I stand by Rocky Sin at corner.
Yeah, no, that's
good. A guy that plays. The guy that has played a lot of man and knows what he's doing.
Hasn't he played some safety in his career as well? I feel like he's done a little bit of safety work in his career.
Oh, there's a guy. Deshaun Watson at interior defensive line.
Oh, the Chiefs
Kansas
guy.
City.
Yeah. There are some. There's always going to be depth out there that could be good value and injured guys who could potentially be good value. But I think we're all looking for one more big one before we're done. But I don't know.
It'd be like when we shut the stream earlier, we're going to have our dinner in a bit and suddenly there'll be 17 million big deals come out.
Brent goes, best edge available at this moment. I mean, that's statistically, it's Malcolm Kuntz, the edge, who's he's the highest rated one left on the board, the Vegas Raiders one. So we might not get Max Crosby, but we might get his running mate from there. Obviously, you've got Azeez Ojulari in, you've got Charles Omenihu, guys like that, but I think his attitude problems would probably, his attitude issues would probably get him cut out of here. Jets,
3 years, $36 million deal for Brandon Stevens.
I thought he was going to retire. Or am I thinking of someone else?
Me? I don't know. This is the Ravens corner.
Slay's not gone to pit yet, Lisa. It's apparently still in the air.
Well, yes, because the Eagles have realised they have some markets. They haven't released him officially because they're trying to fish for a trade.
Perry says, would you bring in Chase Young on a fair deal?
Yeah.
I mean, he must be the ultimate version of you can get a $20 million player for nothing, really, given that he's not really earned it. And he's on a redemption arc as well. The team would help, and it's a good defensive line. He'd get his one-on-one looks. So, what sort of deal is Kuntz expected to get? Have we done this one already, or did you see what his AAV potentially was?
Yeah, I can get his AAV. He is projected by PFF, who again, blah blah blah. He is projected with them to get. Just saw it a second ago. There we go. So 2 years, 37.5 mil total. So that's 18.75 mil average.
So
but that will pop. That's their like high end.
Yeah,
he'll get lower than that because he had the injury just before. So I'm projecting 2 years, 12.5. But that first year will be guaranteed.
Yeah, something like that. So I think it's not an insurmountable amount if you wanted to bring him in, especially if it's just a 2-year deal. Again, these don't affect cap tons in the long term. So, yeah. Perry's got a few in here. Your feelings on our new coaches, just very quickly because I don't get behind this. I love our new coaching staff. I think we've picked up some absolute worldies out of the college football ranks, and I think we've got some very veteran old heads in. There's not really one appointment that I don't like.
Yeah, I like the coaching staff as well. Obviously, we've been through it like the time and time again. Just it's just so good. Like the only downside maybe is obviously that we lost some youthful talent, but that's what it is. Like, got to get used to it now.
Absolutely, it's just going to be the be all and end all. We're going to be coveted now going forward. What's the other one I mentioned? What is a fair trade down for us at 28 if we trade back? Day 2 picks.
Yeah. I want a pick that's like, that massive gap we have. I just want another pick there. Yeah. Just give me one.
I'd be looking for, if you're going to trade back from 28, I would want to still pick within the top 35. And I would want to be picking again in the 50s or 60s. You're going to have to give us something good to come up and get that 5th year option. Ooh. And then maybe you can flip one of your day 2 picks for a round 4 pick to fill in that gap there and just sort of work your way back a little bit that way. Ideally, I wouldn't want to trade out. I'm not a fan of trading out. I want less picks, better quality. That's where I'm at with it, so I wouldn't. But if that would be my price if we were going to. Would Holmes? Yeah, Perry said, would Holmes bring Young on a fair deal? I think Holmes would do it. I don't think Holmes would hold any. I don't think there's anything that would stop him from doing it. It's always about value, isn't it? As long as he's got the attitude and the. Perry goes, what do you think of Justin Fields going to the Jets? What do you think of the Seahawks signing Sam Darnold? I love the Justin Field move to the Jets. Darnold to the Seahawks I think is good value for $33 million, but I'm not sure what I think of it. What about you, Ash?
I was doing a...
what do you think of Fields to the Jets and Darnold to the Seahawks?
It's okay. I love the Fields to the Jets. I was talking to my friend who used to go to school with, who's a Jets fan today. I was like, the good thing about Fields is because he's got the mobility, he will be able to overcome the issues you've got on offensive line, and obviously he's got the connection with Garrett Wilson, so he'll be back to you being your wide receiver 1 again. And because of the threat with him rushing, Breece Hall and that will get a bit easier. So I like it for them, plus he's relatively cheap. Darnold just seems to stay in the course for Seattle. Like, it looked like they were going to blow it up, they're going to do the right thing, and they've just not done that. Like, you could have easily, gone for a lower prospect guy, got a high pick next year, used all the picks you've got for do all the trades, and then be like, yep, right, we can go and get our guy now. You could get Nico Moleva or Arch Manning or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just staying the course. And they're going to pick they're going to probably pick 17 next year and not be able to get their guy. They're going to have to settle for someone shitter, probably Castellanos.
Oh, what, are you only saying that because he's beating you with Florida? You can't just have a grudge. If you had a grudge against every quarterback who beat Florida State, that list would be growing quite big.
Oh, no, he's going to be winning a lot of games for us this year. In our new system. He's transferred to us, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, but he's beaten you in the past, so,
I mean, you say that, who was the last good QB to come out of NC State? They've beaten us a lot, not really much QB talent to come out of there.
Devin Leary's good enough, thank you. He's beaten you plenty of times.
Where's he in the league?
He's not made it quite yet, so he will.
Where is he now, though? Yeah,
he's honing his craft for a big, ginormous comeback. I don't have to take this from you.
Oh no, he's in the league. Thank you, Devin Leary.
I don't have to take. I'm not going to take this abuse from you.
Where is he? Oh wait, he's just sitting on the Ravens practice squad doing fuck all.
Just like Jordan Travis. Boom.
He's on the practice squad. He's not on the practice squad.
He will be. Carlton goes, how many players do you want the Lions to draft? They must make the 53. Note, we are already carrying unplayable Manu Moyne. This is where I'm at. Especially offensive line. I don't want no development offensive line this year because we're carrying too many already. And you can include Sorsdal in that list as well. My ideal draft, I think we'd take away about 6 players. I'm happy with 6. As long as they're predominantly their starters in the first 2 days, and then your day 3, maybe even still, you're looking at guys who can contribute this year. Because we've got a lot of development projects on this team. I mean, we can go back to the first years. We've got Rodrigo who could come in and go right away and still be good. So 6 would be my ideal. I don't want any more than 6. Because again, like you said, we're going to struggle to make the roster. We're not that many holes to fill, technically. I mean, I guess we do, but I don't want to take 10 or 12 guys because maybe half of them might not make it.
Mm-hmm.
How many is your ideal? How many ideally would you have?
I would say around that as well. Tier offensive line that you can trust. Another receiver. Tight end 3. D-line. DB, CS6. Maybe 7 if you want to upgrade on that sort of linebacker 5-6 role. So if you can get Jackson Dumas Johnson or Jack Kaiser, something like that, just to come in and solidify the back end of the roster. Because we saw this year, you got the injuries. We've got 4 linebackers we can count on to play meaningful snaps. As soon as we get down to Ezekiel Turner and Anthony Pittman again, we're fucked.
Again, I don't think we need many more than that. I think we're in a nice sweet spot there. So that's where we're at with that. About 6 or 7. Perry goes, do you think Arch Manning will be a franchise QB in the NFL? I don't know. I've not seen him play enough college ball. He needs to play a full season first. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at with that. All quarterbacks, I've got to see them play enough. So I'm not gonna cheat and say we've got to see how he deals with the pressure of playing for Texas. That's why I like Quinn Ewers so much, because he dealt with the pressure of playing for Texas that very few quarterbacks have been able to do recently. If Arch can do the same, then he's probably got a very good chance of being able to do so. Do the Lions move on from Broderick if he doesn't improve this offseason? I say
yes.
I reckon he's got 1 more year. I reckon after 3 years they'll pull the plug. But I always give my draft picks 3 years. But it depends who they draft as well, I guess. It's going to depend about competition.
Give me a minute. Packers expected to sign former Raiders cornerback Nate Hobbs 4 years, $48 million deal. That is deal number 1 that's literally just broke. Deal number 2, when Twitter loads. Bucks center Robert Hainsey has agreed terms with the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3 years, $21 million.
That's a good deal for the Jags. I like that deal.
But the Packers have a new slot corner.
And it's Don't you have history with Nate Hobbs? Oh no, it's Nate Wiggins you have history with.
Oh, I have history with Nate Hobbs as well.
Okay,
and the PFF podcast. The people haven't heard this story. I think it was only on like the people on like.
So you're just not like Nate.
No, so with the Nate Hobbs thing, this goes back way back to Jerry's rookie season when PFF podcast did their like all rookie team, and despite Jerry grading higher than Nate Hobbs and Nate Hobbs having an issue at the end of the year with some legal stuff, they put Nate Hobbs in their all rookie team over Jerry Jacobs, and I left them a very angry voicemail to their thing that they never played. I was like, you're doing this off rate like your own fucking rankings, and you can't put Jerry Jacobs in there over. Like, come on, fucking consistency.
God, you harbour grudges much worse than I do, and I figure I'm bad with it.
Yes, yes, I do.
Brent agrees. He goes, good moves for the Jags. I like that Hainsey move. That is what a good. He will be a solid placeholder,
and
until you get a draft pick or you get a long-term starter there. That's a sensible deal the Jags have done.
And, of course, it's coming from the same place that the new head coach has come from. Bucks, bringing over his system.
Oh, yeah. Again, I just don't get centre being a devalued position. It's the guy who sorts out your protections. It's the guy who snaps the ball to your quarterback. It's the general of your line. And I don't get... For me, I'm drafting a centre before I'm drafting... the only position I'm drafting before a centre on the O-line is a left tackle. That is it. I'm not drafting anyone. I'm not drafting a right tackle. I'm not drafting guards. I'm drafting the centre first. And it's just a completely devalued position. And I've no idea why. They do so much for your team. And you need to have a centre who works with your quarterback. Mm-hmm. We've seen so many times where they just can't work together, and so for them, that is a good move for the Jags. I like that, Hainsey.
Especially since he comes in at tied 10th for all centres in paying $7 million.
That's guys, terrific value for money for them. They've done some good deals.
They've paid half the AAV for him than the Bears did for Drew Dolman.
So I mean, that for Nate Hobbs though, he's only making a third of his money guaranteed. That's not much for a nearly $50 million deal to only have $16 million in guarantees. They're not set on him. Like they
that tells me they've only done the first year. So 12 million.
Yeah, they have probably loaded up this year, and then next he's got some big ass base salaries.
Yeah. So that comes in tied with the Brandon Stevens deal to the Jets today. Chidobe Awuzie, the one he signed with the Tennessee Titans a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a very... I think what you do is...
I think they're going to hope he has a great year and then trade him. Basically flip him for a pick and a year's worth of... But you don't... That's not much guaranteed. Usually, it's 2/3 of your money guaranteed, not 1/3.
Actually, looking at it, they're probably going to play him outside.
Well, I think they will as well.
Because I've got the Jair's gone.
They got Eric Stokes, but he has one of the outside positions.
No, he's a UFA as well.
Oh, is he?
So right now their cornerback room right now is Carrington Valentine, Robert Rochelle, Kishore Nixon, and Javon Bullard.
This is how I know I'm getting old as a podcaster. I'm an old podcaster because Eric Stokes was still in college when we started doing this.
21 draft, yeah.
I'm talking about guys now, and I'm thinking, God, I'm getting old as a podcaster. You.
Malcolm Kuntz back to the Raiders, 1 year, $12 million. Fucking bastards.
Okay.
Right, there goes my sneaky fucking edge pickup.
There you go then. So that is the highest rated edge left on the market. Malcolm Kuntz is going back to the Las Vegas Raiders for a paltry figure in return to what Max Crosby is getting. So the edge market at the top has really, really dried out now. Your next edge available at this point is Chase Young.
And Azeez Ojulari. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, Chase Young and Azeez Ojulari are your best bets now in free agency. DeMarcus Lawrence is there, but he's 33. And then you're going into the territory of Joey Bosa, Dante Fowler, Charles Omenihu.
Matt Judon.
Judon's out there as well.
Cole Lawson.
So
Sean Winker. I stand by DH Wise. DH Wise might be a good underrated pickup.
Can you imagine just at the end of the day, the last move made is Tryon Shinker, and then that Jeff Risdon's tweet came to fruition as the last deal of the day?
I would be very... it's peak. I would be very upset. Kyrus Tonga to the Patriots, 1 year, 2.7 mil.
Perry Ball goes, when you get to my age, you know you're old, lol. I'm sure you're not, Perry. Absolutely not. Lisa goes, I will be happy with 6 if we could have higher picks than 7th rounders. Yeah, that's true for the draft picks question.
There's some decent players there at the 7th round.
Perry Ball goes, would you take a chance on Calais Campbell?
Yes.
I'm just gonna guess, but I'm pretty sure Ash would be amenable to that. I don't know why, but I think he might be amenable to taking to Calais Campbell here. So
ultra fit, could play inside and outside. Would be a Levi replacement, potentially cheaper. Or you bring back Levi and then he's got another guy to learn off, because
Kyrus Tonga signed by the Pats. 2.7 million.
That's going to be their new nose tackle next year.
There we go. That one's in. Lisa goes, Arch will show us this year. Yeah, he will. Arch. This is the big year of Arch Manning. We will see what he is all about. Right. So we'll carry this on for about another 15-20 minutes. We'll get to about 9 o'clock here, and then I think we'll call it for the day, because we'll have been going nearly 5 hours, and we are getting to the point now where things seem to be starting to quieten for the day. But if it carries on, then we'll keep going. But I have not eaten yet, and I'm starving. So if there's any more questions or anything you've got while we're still here, the next 15-20, then just whack them in there. We appreciate everyone who's been here, who's been asking us questions all evening. This has been really good. Really very much enjoyed it. Travarius Ward still remains atop the highest rated free agent left. Amari Cooper is still in there. Then Byron Murphy, Drake Greenlaw, Javon Holland, and Will Freeze still. And then we've got Justin Reed and Cam Robinson. I'm surprised, given the lack of linebackers in these groups, that Drake Greenlaw's not been offered an exorbitant amount of money from someone yet.
He has supposedly been quoted as saying he's considering his time. He's not going to sign immediately.
Yeah, but I know they're saying that, and then someone will just come along and put a big fat wad on your desk and be like, "Oh, okay, well maybe you made my mind up for me there." As
Sorry.
you do. Javon Holland as well. Given the safety market, I mean, is Javon Holland now going? Actually, I've seen Trayvon Murray get 17 million today. Potentially, I want a little bit more than that.
For me, Javon Holland's resetting the safety market properly. He's that good.
Yeah, exactly.
He is really that good. He is. Where is he on here? Okay, this year was a down year for him, but last year, 90.4 grade from PFF. He's still really damn good.
And that Dolphins team's not been the greatest all his time there. Lisa goes, is this Broderick's third year? Yes, we're going into Broderick's third season now. He's only halfway through his rookie contract, so that's where we're at with him. Perry Ball goes, I'm just scared we might have another big injury this year with our players. I think we need more picks. I get that. Having as many players on your roster as you physically can helps, so I certainly understand the logic behind that. So, definitely not knocking that. This is just personal opinion for me. I'd rather take a few less. Look at Brad's first class. He's paid 4 guys mega bucks out of that now. You do that every year. You laugh into the bank, technically.
Well,
Lisa goes, Daniel Jones released by the Vikings. Sorry, go on.
Well, that's to say, the good news about this being, at least for agent being exciting, is the fact we're not having to sit and watch the boring dross that's going on in the Premier League.
Oh, I didn't even know there was... What? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. That is probably a good
West
thing.
Ham 0, Newcastle 0.
Oh. Lisa goes, Daniel Jones released by the Vikings. Has he been officially released?
Yeah, well, he was anyway, because he was on a short-term deal.
Oh, okay, so he's on the free agency market, yeah. I know a lot of teams are in for him, though.
Jones Schoen has the ability to do the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, and take him back there. Yeah. Carlton Wood goes, defensive end Chauncey Golston.
Yeah. That's
it's a potential.
That is a shout. He is on PFF's 164th. 2 years, 12.5 million projected.
Yeah.
Solid rotational edge.
Very good. Do you have a projector, Anthony, in the room, or you are in, or a TV? I've got a TV in here, and this is my PC screen. I don't have a projector. I don't have a green screen. Like, again, I started podcasting and never thought I'd ever carry on doing it. I thought I was the worst person in the world to do podcasting, so I never invested in equipment for it. I didn't think I'd still be going half a decade later. I'm going to have to eventually. I'm going to have to come to terms with the fact that I can do this and get some proper equipment, but, money for all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like I'm literally, you guys know, but I'm literally always in my bedroom. I
started.
My bed is literally.
You know what? When we started this, I just moved into this flat when we first started doing this, and I had my PC set up on my living room table, and I used to sit on my sofa doing it. Then I moved into my bedroom, but it was too far away from my Wi-Fi and kept messing around with stuff. So then I came back into the living room again. I need to set up like a proper room to do this. Everyone else has such good. I just think I'm me. I'm plain. But that's what's so good about it. We're plain, we're open, we don't need no fancy gadgetry. We are what we are. Brent goes, did you all have a segment on late round UDFA wide receivers, possibly for the Lions on the college football pod? Haven't heard it yet. We talked about some on the main pod when we did wide receivers. I don't think we have, Brent. If you want us to do it, we will. Like, it's what we're here for. We'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys we mentioned is now shot up balls because obviously tested well at the combine.
Oh, Tesla.
That being, of course, Isaac Tesla, yeah.
We can do it for you, Brent. That's what we're here for. If you want us to do late round wide receivers, we'll do late round wide receivers. So we'll have a look for you. Lisa says, I've said it before, in free agency and the draft, the Lions need 3 D-line players. Agreed. Totally agreed.
Yeah.
2 on the edge, 1 at DT. Perry goes, their report and could go to the Vikings. You and Ash are doing well. Oh, no, appreciate you. Thank you very much. Have we got any other deals coming in? Not really.
Not yet, no.
Well, thanks to Dan on Twitter as well, saying thank you for all our work today. Appreciate you, Dan, as always. Appreciate every single one of you who spend your time with us, especially as we've been on a bit of a marathon one today. But it's good fun to do all this as it's happening because you can just get it live. And, I'm going to do a swear jar for this next year, and then I'm going to get rich off Ash. So, there we go.
It's that's how you say. That's how you know that the big deals happen. Because I'm like, fuck.
Do you value? So Perry asks, do you value speed or size in a wide receiver? So I'll answer this quickly. I like size because I like good blockers. I do. That's why I loved Puka so much when I saw him. It's why I love Ricky White so much this year. For me, it's I love the dirty side of the game when it comes to wide receivers. Although, like with JMO and that, I love the speed, but I love me some dirty, so I love me some size. Ash?
I mean, what's the one position I kept banging on about for like the past year and a half?
Bond.
Ex-receivers, the big physical specimens.
Ash likes the big physical specimens. That's getting clipped for.
Let me just look up the name. Let me just look up the name of this guy. Yeah, like if I'm going to do it.
You know what? We need to get our own shirts. Matt needs his long snapper appreciation shirt. You need your big physical specimen shirt. Like we should get you one that just says.
And in a picture of Barry Wood on the front. If you know who Barry Wood is.
Oh, absolutely. Who doesn't? So yeah, we pretty much both value size over speed. That's just the kind of guys we like. So, Brent DeWitt, where is my dark horse expected to go? Carter Runyon. The Towson tight end is probably not going to get drafted. So
let me have a look on mock draft database.
The thing is, he didn't get a combine invite, which I disliked intensely because he should have got a combine invite. But
he is currently projected 247.
247.
Database.
Ooh,
yeah, he's been in one mock draft. Round 7.
How about Mr. Irrelevant?
Who's picking at the end of the draft?
Carter Runyon could be a Mr. Irrelevant candidate. There you go, Brent. That would be... You could have a draft crush as Mr. Irrelevant. And to be honest, we've got to pick our picks for Mr. Irrelevant this year, so I might keep him in mind for that. Well, me and Ryan did it for the college thing last year. We did dark picks for that, so we will do it as a big group this year. Yeah, because we'll do a betting show beforehand. We'll bet on who Mr. Irrelevant is. Lisa goes, yes, Ash, I agree with Calais Campbell. Ellie Soden says, proud of you both. Grand job. Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Frank the Tank's in the building. He goes, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Sheila, keep doing what you're doing. Do not overbuy for no free agents. Time for boys to step up. Pascal, Wingo, Martin, Mohammed, goal lines. Yeah, you're right. We do. The point is, this team is so great, and Colby's not developed yet. Broderick's not developed yet. Like, Wingo's not had a chance to develop yet. There's still a lot of guys who've not hit their ceilings just yet, and there's still a lot of year 1 and year 2 guys who have still got to improve as well. So that is the scary thing about this team, is it's even without improvements, it's still got a lot of potential growth in it to be better than it was before, which was a 15-2 football team. So he's right. Perry goes, I think a wide receiver needs to be a good catch the football with a low drop rate. I would take the bigger wide receiver over a small wide receiver if both were equal in skill. I would agree, probably. I do like a good catch radius, I'm not going to lie. That's why Pat Bryant's so good. He's got a catch radius which is akin to a black hole. You throw it to him and he will suck it in. No pun intended. But yeah, I agree with you. I like the big guys are the fun ones. Although, I do like a nice slot receiver. Because we've got Amon-Ra in that here, we don't need to really look at slot wide receivers. So, I've not really done much tape work on them the last few years because of our lack of a need for one. Except for Luther Burden. But Luther Burden can play outside, and you saw Luther Burden's gauntlet drill. Just for skills like that, you've got to make an exception to the rule. He is really forbidden fruit in this draft. If we draft him, I'll secretly go yay, but outwardly I'll be like, damn it, we need an edge. Frank goes, we need players that have got grit. It doesn't matter how big they are and how small they are, go Lions. I mean, yeah, we're just having a personal preference conversation here. This isn't a thing with Lions. We were just asked if we like bigger or faster receivers.
Yeah.
Game 4, we were saying Detroit Lions were the most talented team in the league. What happened? Go Lions. Injuries happened. But depth happens as well. Hutch goes down. No depth behind it. Pascal was fine for the season. Zedarius was fine for the season. Al-Qadin was fine when he was here. It's just about that depth. We've got to get the depth right. It's too much low depth and not enough medium to high depth. So that's all we need. Right, it is about 9 o'clock now. We have been going for quite some time and our viewer ratings has just completely dropped off, so I assume someone's come live that's competing against us. So we're making this a 5-minute warning. Any last questions you want to put in here before we get out, then get them in immediately. I'll go through the housekeeping bits and everything. So next shows... We'll be back next week on the Main Lines podcast. Matt will be back with us as well, so everything will return to normal and the chaos will subside. We're doing draft prospects, we're doing safeties. It'll be me and Ash doing them because Matt will not be far removed from getting back from America, but he's going to come in and chime in with his views as well, so join us for that. Me and Ryan will be here for the college pod this week as well. Not sure what day entirely just yet, but we will be here for that. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing, but yeah, we'll be there. I've just got a lot on my plate, but we will get round to it. Don't forget, Royal Lions UK. You can find us all over the internet. We're there. Just type us in, you'll see one of our beautiful faces. Let's just quickly go back over some of the bigger deals from... do you have a list of the deals up, Ash?
I can get one up. Just give me a sec.
So we'll just give a quick recap of some of the big deals of the day, and then any questions left, we'll do those, and then we'll head on, because I've got some burgers which are calling my name. I can physically hear them calling me at this point in time. I is so hungry. So obviously for the Detroit Lions, one big deal so far for the day. DJ Reed, cornerback formerly of the New York Jets, is coming to the Motor City for 3 years, $48 million deal. $16 million per year AAV, which, as we'll go down the list in a minute, is incredibly good value for the Lions. And only one Lions free agent has been signed elsewhere, Carlton Davis. Corresponding move, $20 million per year to the New England Patriots, and as we've said from the start, do not begrudge him a single penny of that. He's earned it. Good for you, CD. Other deals we've had today, Ash.
So we've had Milton Williams goes from the Eagles to the New England Patriots, 4 years. Quite a lot of money. Is now the highest paid player in their history on AAV, behind just in front of Tom Brady. We've also had, early in the day, just before free agency started, Baltimore Ravens re-sign Ronnie Stanley, the offensive tackle, to a 3-year, $60 million deal. Obviously, the big fish, Sam Darnold, to the Seattle Seahawks for a 3-year, $100.5 million deal that includes $55 million guaranteed and $37.5 million in year one. Josh Sweat breaking the hearts of many Lions fans with a 4-year, $76.4 million deal to the Arizona Cardinals. As free agency opened, Chris Godwin returned to the Bucs on a 3-year, $66 million deal with $44 million guaranteed, keeping the band back together for them. Obviously, the aforementioned moves. The big move for the Bears in a way, Drew Dolman, the centre, become the second highest paid centre on a 3-year, $42 million deal, moving from the Falcons to the Bears. Son Reddick signs for the Bucs just as free agent opened, 1-year, $14 million deal, $12 million guaranteed. Justin Fields going to the New York Jets as a 2-year, $40 million deal, $30 million guaranteed. Trayvon Moehrig to the Panthers, 3-year, $51 million deal. Max value of 60, so he's got some incentives in there. And then recently, I'm going off NFL's list here, so this is why it's coming up. Recently, Malcolm Kuntz breaking my heart, returning to the Raiders on a 1-year, $12 million deal.
There we go. So those are your big deals of the day. As we say, thank you to every single one of you who has been in, who's asked us so many questions, who've kept us going over this 5-hour period and rejoined us after we had that little blip in the middle. Just a few comments to close out the show. So Brent goes, if Martin and Saul still don't show major improvement by the end of the preseason, I'm for dumping them. Yeah, potentially there. Frank the Tank, all the boys will be back, go Lions. Danny Mack says, top show lads, been with you from 3:30, enjoyed every minute, cheers, appreciate you Danny, we really appreciate all of you guys in the building there. Lisa goes, thanks Anthony and Ash. Brent, great show lads. Carlton, thanks again guys. Perry Ball will be playing Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster tonight. That is an old game. I had that for the PlayStation 1, was it, Suikoden? I've not played that in forever. You have just really jogged some memories for me there, Perry, so enjoy the hell out of that. I love going back and playing the old PlayStation games and now, but Suikoden, I've not heard of that in years. So, but yeah. And he also goes, the Bears will be much improved, the Vikings and Packers should be solid again, the Lions are tough in the NFC North. Of course we are, and the Packers, Ash. If we're going to do winners and losers of the day, Packers have got to be the losers with what they've been paying out, surely.
Yeah, they redeemed themselves a bit with the Nate Hobbs deal, but...
Yeah, $21 million to Aaron Banks.
Yeah, like, it's got some of our fellow fan people going. So Marcus Whitman, who is a much known person on this one because of some of the opinions he's had that me and Anthony disagree with, just absolutely flipping out about it, which is hilarious. Everyone will say they were a winner. They're not. They overpaid for everyone, pretty much. Like Durham Smythe was a good sign, but that doesn't even count here. So I get it's not them as much. Vikings, they've actually not really signed anyone today. Aaron Jones, I guess, has a decent deal for them. But yeah, I think we've won just by staying the course.
Yeah, we are as strong as we were at the start of the day. Yeah. So we've swapped out our corner and we're still there. So and we're cheaper at that as well. So, but Perry goes, thanks guys. Have a good night. Have a good supper. Will do. Thank you everybody. Enjoy the rest of your free agency frenzy Monday, and we shall be back with you again very soon. And just remains me thank you, Ash. Appreciate this. It's been good fun, and we shall do it again soon. And we shall have Matt back next week to restore order to the chaos. One pride.
One pride.